Let me, okay, we're recording. Good. So, I'm gonna grab my Dr. Pepper, and then we're gonna walk outside, and I'm gonna show you guys the difference, the real difference between what makes a photographer and what makes a person with a camera. Okay? Because, yes, there are pro cameras out there, but a pro camera and pro gear does not a photographer make. So we're going to be using just my phone. Hopefully taking pictures won't interrupt the video. I don't think it will. And we're just going to be taking pictures with my phone because it's important that you guys understand. When I say you guys, I just mean the world. It's important that people understand perspective, right? And not just perspective in relation to size and distance and stuff, but in relation to like, there's a, like, people say like, oh, you have the eye or whatever. Like, it's just looking at the world differently. And there's so much cool stuff that we overlook all the time, and that's why I think photography is awesome, because it helps us share our perspective with the world. So we're right here in my apartment, right outside, and walk around, and we're gonna find little compositions. We've got these really cool clouds this morning, so that's actually helping a lot. I've already been taking pictures of them with my phone, just with my phone, this morning, and it's been really cool. So, but we walk around out here, and okay, yeah, there's a walkway and blah blah blah. It's kind of pretty, but first thing, look at that. This is really neat. These leaves are huge, right? Like they're massive, and that's a really cool, interesting foreground. And you see all these ribs on them, and the big long stem creates a leading line. Remember those clouds from before? Let's tilt sideways. I don't know if it'll tilt sideways in my video or not. And now we're starting to get a composition where a leading line up to our background and our focal point. It's the brightest part of the image is where your eye is naturally going to go. And I'm going to tap on the screen, try and get some of that foreground detail, but not so much that it kills the brightness back there. I'm going to grab just a little bit more leading line. I want to put that sun kind of on this third axis right here. So there we go. And then I'm going to adjust my slider about like that. I don't want this upper leaf though. I just want the one for emphasis. So I'm going to kind of move that a little bit out of the way. And there we go, something kind of like that. And I don't want the building in there if I can avoid it, but it's gonna be there. Maybe if I zoom in a little bit, there we go. And then, but I still want some of that light. So this is the way I'm thinking as I'm shooting, right? So maybe I'll just use this top leaf instead. Yeah, oh, we can have it poking right through there, and if we're lucky, maybe we can get a little sun flare. Probably not with the phone, but or maybe we'll just go for the double. Yeah, that's fine. Go for the double. What I want definitely is that light gets harsher. It's kind of difficult to see. There we go, that'll work. Let's see how that turned out. Come on, with it. Okay, so it's pretty dark in here, but something as simple as Instagram. Let's get out of my photography Instagram. There we go. Go to my personal one. I'm probably not going to post this, but we'll see. So we hit next. First, we want to make sure it's cropped the way that I want it. So do I really want that taking up the whole right side of the frame? I want it to be kind of like 50-50. So I'm going to go back to a square crop and drag it all the way over. There we go. Maybe pull it out just a little bit. So I don't want too much foreground emphasis. I want the foreground to kind of lead to the background. Oops, not next twice, next once. And I'll hit edit. Forget all of these. This is laziness. So I'll hit edit. And then structure, yeah. That's like clarity. Go ahead and pull that. Yeah, we'll go ahead and pull it all the way up. Normally with real photos I don't crank my clarity all the way up because it produces noise and it just starts to look a little crazy, but with the phone it's not so bad. Bring the saturation up a little bit. I don't like that red, so I'll hit cancel, and then contrast, bring that up a little bit, and then shadows, get some of that foreground detail back. There we go. And you can see some of the light actually vignetting on the edge there. And speaking of vignette, kind of draw the eyes more inward. Okay, and then brightness. Nope, we're gonna pretty much leave that be. Maybe a little bit right now. I'm gonna leave brightness alone. Highlights and turn. Okay, so what if I turn highlights up to kind of accentuate the highlights, but then I turn the brightness down? No, I'm gonna do the opposite. We're gonna turn the brightness up, the highlights down. Something like that, where we still have a fair amount of detail in the clouds. Alright, and turn my shadows back down to here. That was just one long text, but whenever she texts me, for some reason, it comes through as like a million. Alright, there's my saturation. I want a little bit more of that green in the leaves. There we go. Something like that, so where you can still see there's blue. And we'll double check on the vignetting, so I don't want to vignette too hard. There, something like that. So then look back at our original, which is a good composition, and then our edit, which brings it more to life, right? Then you can hit next, and you can hit post, and I'm just going to put this as a tutorial. And then I'm going to hit share, right? And that's as simple as it is. And that's not unrealistic. That's true to life. You're just trying to get everything that's in the shadows and everything that's in the highlights. So if we go back into the camera here, see, that's there, and that is there. But you notice there's like a brief pause as it's adjusting. So we're trying to get both. That's all we're trying to do, all right? So there's one composition. But then as you walk around, you'll find other stuff too. So like things that I notice that most people don't. I notice little things like this. And there's repetition in this. There's line with all the stems, and then there's all this detail, right? And there's all this texture, and there's actually pattern in every single individual leaf. Even in my fingertips too. It's pretty neat. So you can tap to focus on your phone, and then you see how that blurs back there, draws this to the foreground, to the focus. Same thing you can use to notice these berries and how these cobwebs are on them. That's pretty neat. So maybe I want to do something with the cobweb, but I also kind of want to incorporate the berries. So I can kind of go sideways for this one. And do I want my main focus to be the berries or the cobwebs, or both? Kind of want it to be both, so let's kind of level it out a bit. And then maybe I'll make the cobweb kind of my foreground. Or I can let, yeah, because the web is a really hard texture to catch. It's very thin, so we'll focus mostly on that. And actually, the berries are kind of detracting from it, so we're going to, whoa, that's like very, very zoomed. Focus on how the leaves are holding the web there. Right about like that. And then I kind of want as much of the leaf there as possible. I like this little curve on the right hand side. I kind of want to use that line. And then this little point down here and up, down on the bottom left from that leaf, and the top right from that leaf, frame it. So there we go. Now we have this shot where we have up here this top leaf and this bottom leaf framing what's in the middle. They're both pointing to the center, right? And in the center, it's kind of double framed again by these leaves that are holding up this cobweb. That's just a little thing, right? So it's another thing you can look for to walk out. I like to touch these. I think they're cool. You can use them to use or to kind of silhouette like that. There's also little flowers here, but it's not just about, you know, stuff like that. I mean, we've got this cool thing which makes a really neat silhouette on the sky, you know, but it's about knowing what to look for, man. So take a little walk out into the parking lot. That is a really good sky. Don't expect that on a daily basis to have a really awesome sky. We're just getting lucky right now with clouds, but I mean, even if it's completely blue, you know, there's not a single cloud in the sky, or it's totally gray and there's no shape to the clouds, you know, just walk around and look for stuff. Like here, let's do something that's not natural, you know, it's not all nature, that incorporates some of mankind, right? So we've got a shopping cart that's here for God knows why. And we've got, because they're doing construction right now, or not construction, but they're redoing the surfacing. It's wet right there, so you can't walk there, but this is a pretty cool leading line. This is danger. So you could put it going up to those pumps, actually. It's pretty neat. And you could, it's kind of like, gotta wait for it. Maybe I'll flatten it out a little bit myself. There we go. And you could be like the dangers of shopping in the street. Danger. Don't cross the street. With cart. You know, and then a shopping cart, right? It's got all these little holes, which make great little frames and leading lines. So, I mean, and we've got these cones too. So you could just kind of, in a tow truck with a cross on it. That's really weird. Anyway, so we're out of here like he's scared of me. So we've got this little cone, right? And you can kind of build the whole scene off that. You know, if you're trying to tell a story, you got the caution tape, shopping cart, and the cone leading into the construction back there, right? So like, or the whatever. That's a really neat, weird little scene. But I mean, just walk out a little bit further and see what we see, man. To some people this looks like a plain street with palm trees. To me, I see all those as leading into the horizon. But and I see this grate and I look at those little tiny rungs in there to climb down. There's a ladder. And you just gotta look around and see what you can find. Yeah. Use caution, of course, but take a seat. It kind of reminds me of the It thing. Dang, you know? Like, creepy. It creates this weird leading line right there.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Could you make a phone call for me, please?
Yeah, just a second. And then I'm gonna end the video really quick. Have a great day.